Welcome to 1.6, Parallel and Perpendicular. First thing we need to know are a couple of formulas. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1, where m is the slope and x1, y1 is a point. So our first example, we're going to use point-slope form to find an equation in slope-intercept form. So we have our point 2, 4, which is our x1, y1, and our slope 3, which is our m, so we're going to substitute in. So we get y minus 4 equals 3 times the quantity x minus 2. Distribute the 3, we get 3x minus 6. And then we add 4 to get y by itself, and we get y equals 3x minus 2. And so that's our equation of our line. Now we can get into the geometry of this. This is parallel and perpendicular slopes. Parallel means you have the same slope. Perpendicular means you have the opposite reciprocal slope, meaning you change the sign and you flip the fraction. So our example, find the slope of a line parallel to each given. So our slope here is 3/5, so our parallel slope would also be 3/5 because it's the same slope. Our next example, y equals negative 3x minus 2. Our slope is negative 3 over 1. So we change the sign and we flip it, it becomes positive 1 over 3. Next we want to graph this line. So we need to write the equation of the parallel line. It's parallel to y equals negative 3/2 x, so our slope is negative 3/2, and our point is negative 2, negative 1. We graphed the original line here. This is negative 3/2 x. So our slope is negative 3/2. We're going to do y plus 1 equals negative 3/2 times x plus 2. Distribute the negative 3/2, we get negative 3/2 x minus 3. Subtract 1, we get y equals negative 3/2 x minus 4. And then when we graph this equation, we notice that the two lines will never touch. And that's kind of what parallel means. The idea is they have the same slope, so they're going up or down and over in the same direction, the same amount. Our last example is a perpendicular one. So first thing we're going to do is graph this line, y equals x plus 1. Then we need the perpendicular slope. Well, the slope of this line is 1 over 1. So the perpendicular, negative and a flip, it becomes negative 1 over 1. So the slope is negative 1. We're going to use the point negative 2, negative 1. So it's y plus 1 equals negative 1 times the quantity x plus 2. Distribute the negative 1, we get negative x minus 2. Subtract 1, we get negative x minus 3. And when we graph this line, notice that it goes through each other, but specifically at a 90-degree angle. And that's what perpendicular means. Two lines that intersect and create 4 right angles. Good luck on the practice.